make sure you are, you can hashtag IEM and talk about the stream. You can link the stream in so that people can come and say hello and come and watch PiG versus San, which is just about to start up right now. Thank you. Thank you very much. There we go. All right, let's get started.
Let's do it. So we're going into Belcher Vestige Ladder Edition for the first series of the day. This is double elimination as well, guys, so anyone who gets knocked down goes straight into loser's bracket and gets a second chance. Always a nice tournament format for the players. And who do we have, DUCKVILLE?
Well, down at the bottom right hand side is our red Zerg player, all the way from Australia. Well, it's not too far from me, but saw him last week up against MVP and actually had some really cool games. We're going to be rebroadcasting those. Don't forget about that. It is Exile 5 PiG.
And in the top left, spawning in the blue, currently teamless, but on a clan here, as you can see, he's on clan NOS. It is Sam, and he was previously on Zenith a long time ago. What team was he on after Zenith? Well, they obviously went to ZenX and then probably Nex. But
yeah.
What team was he on?
Jeez, I can't remember. Was he on AL for a little while? I can't actually remember. I can't remember, but there were a couple of teams that he went through quite a period of time. I mean,
there we go. I've got the history up right now. He was on New Star Hosio, and then he was on Azubu. So obviously, recently left Azubu. I should have known that. PiG actually going for the drone scout. We saw this yesterday from Kez, and Kez went for the hatchery block. So is PiG going to be up to that as well? We'll see, because drone scout isn't really standard in ZVP unless you're trying to do something tricky. And he is sending that drone, yeah.
He's heading straight over here. He's going to probably look to, throw down that hatchery in a second.
Boy.
Something that has been making its, well, I suppose a bit of a name for itself lately is this little block off. Now, part of the reason that this can cause all sorts of issues for Protoss players is that a lot of Protoss, they won't actually scout until, like, some players won't scout until their second gas is down. Some will even go later when their cyber's down. And if you don't notice that hatchery early on, if you don't get it, if you don't start attacking it before it's at least halfway done, then you can be in all sorts of trouble, because things can happen such as creep spread can just start permeating through all of the natural air, and you can have a really hard time getting your natural nexus down, and it just becomes a bit of a problem to deal with. So we'll see what San is going to do. He will spot this, I'd assume with this first zealot that pops out, he'll be able to spot it, or in fact this scouting probe that's now heading out.
Yeah, probe's going down. It's probably going to see it. There he goes. But the difference between this and what Kez was doing yesterday is PiG threw down the hatchery as the first building. When Kez did it, he threw down his own hatchery first. Yep. So this is going to be a lot earlier than yesterday when we were watching. You guys probably didn't see it, but as you can see, this time PiG's actually going to finish it. He's going to be able to start a queen, probably a set of Zerglings or two as well. And will he get the queen up? That's the big thing. It is going down in HP pretty quickly, and it doesn't look like PiG is starting a queen straight away. He's up to 150 minerals now. It doesn't look like he's going to go for the queen, so just using it to block for a while and slow down the expansion of Sam.
Yeah, and I mean, like, regardless of whether you get that queen out, of course, if the queen does come through, then she can cause all sorts of trouble. Like, I mean, when the creep chimmers start coming out, and you get, little creep chimmers that start pushing the creep further and further out, then that makes everything worse, because, of course, then you can't actually do anything until there's some detection. But in this case, PiG is not going to overcommit to things. He just wants to say, no natural for you for quite a while. And, like, as a Zerg player yourself, do you adjust your kind of play? Do you eliminate certain builds that you would normally expect off of a gateway expand once you've done this? Or is it just, it's a very...
I think it kind of evens out. The thing you're hoping for is mistakes from the Protoss player. Maybe a super late scout so that he doesn't see it really late and you get that creep tumor up. But as you can see, actually, the lava is going to block this for quite a while as well. And you can force them, like, they've got to make a reaction, right? They've either got to kill it, they can't expand for a while, so you put them off their game, and putting someone off their game is usually pretty big, because people are better when they're just following what they want to do. And if they're not following what they want to do, they can make a lot more mistakes. And PiG's probably been in this situation a lot of times. He's probably practiced this a lot. So it's probably a more normal situation for him, even though this looks like a weird game. And he's going to be able to look and see if the expansion's going down, see what's going on. He probably knows by now that it's not going to be any aggression, because there's been so many Chrono Boosts on that Nexus as well.
Well, we do get a couple of zealots heading across the map. A few of the drones a little bit unprepared here, going to come across to the side. The Queen is obviously in a little bit of trouble, just being protected by the drones. A little bit of a bodyguard going on there. Time Warp gets thrown down by the Mothership Core. Mothership Core actually in really big trouble right now, has to be very careful. But the Zealots will be able to get some damage done. They take out a couple of the workers there. Not a huge amount, but he is going to lose both of those in the end. But PiG, well, I suppose that's an adequate defense for now, but one thing that is going to cause him trouble are some more warp-ins here. We've got this pylon that's going to bring in some more Zealots, and with the Mothership Core, and now this Oracle also coming along, this could get a little bit hairy here for PiG as the attack still comes through.
Core. Oh, they both go down at the same time. Queen dying at the same time in the Mothership Core. Now there's an Oracle in the base, and there's only one Queen, and one Oracle beats one Queen, so these drones are going to run for their lives back to that Spore Crawler in the main base, but there's no Spore Crawler at the Natural, so the Natural can just take fire now from these Zealots, and even the Oracle if he wants to. The Oracle actually choosing to focus down the drones instead of going for that Queen, and that's going to allow PiG to possibly survive. But there's so many Zealots here. He's going to go for the pylon, stop more warp-ins, but that's 6 Zealots right there. He's going to have to come back for them at some point. 10 more Lings on the way for PiG, and he's taking a lot of damage at this. It's 21 drones to 29 probes right now, and he's going to have a great position for San in this mirror line. The Lings can't even get around for a full surround. 2 Queens working on them. The Zealots will eventually go down around now, but look at the drone counts, DUCKVILLE. We've still got an Oracle in the air. We've got 30 probes against 21 drones. And now San's follow-up is going to be pretty huge.
Yeah, I mean, I really like that. He's sort of said to his opponent, alright, well, you know, you've forced me into a position where I've got to play a little bit one-basey for a little while, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to bring across some Zealots, a Mothership Core, and try and, you know, threaten the front door, kill off a few drones, and keep that drone count low. So PiG is, you know, he's forced to create quite a lot of those links we saw. The Oracle still out and about, causing all sorts of damage here, as we can see, just poking in, getting some really good work done. Will be forced out by the Queen, but the drone count of PiG is still sitting down at around about 27. Nowhere near what he would probably be used to at this point. Like, I think that kind of response to the hatchery block is something I haven't really seen too much. Not like a very aggressive sort of combination attack that we saw there. So that was quite an interesting response, and this game, it looks like it is going to start to even out for the moment, but I mean, it's nowhere near PiG was nowhere near where PiG was probably expecting it would be.
Yeah, and the thing about that aggression was it was just a slight aggression. You already had the gateways up, and it was just a 3-gate pressure whilst he gets that Stargate up, so he was still getting the tech. Just a couple of Zealots to warp in, didn't hurt him too much. He was still producing probes the whole time. Whereas a lot of the responses you see to that, they just throw down 4 gates and try and kill them because they think, oh my god, my expansion's so late, I'm going to be so far behind. But San playing it out really well there, just a slight bit of aggression whilst probing up, and now PiG, he's got a drone like crazy. He's at 44 drones. What tech is he going to go for? He doesn't have a lair yet, so that's going to be extremely late. And now San's moving across the map with a lot of sentries and quite a few gateways coming up behind this as well. He's going to have 5, actually he's at 5 gates.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a lot of gates. 5 gates in total. Of course, there are a lot of sentries already out on the map. We can see a single Zealot going to escort them along with the Mothership Core as well. A few more units also just warping in right now, and the Oracle, that initial Oracle, is still out and about causing all sorts of mischief. 9 kills in total for that guy, so he's certainly gotten his money's worth with that. We can see now that San is going to approach, and this is going to be quite a deadly attack. Looks like he's just going to be warping in as much as he can and bringing it all the way down as well. A few more Zealots just struggling to catch up, but San is going to go straight in before the Spine Crawlers can finish up. Of course, there were 2 more building, but they are not. Well, they actually are done in time, and San may have overcommitted just a little bit. I think perhaps waiting a little while longer would have been nicer, but as we can see, his sentry starting to cut down some of the forces, but the Spine Crawlers are going to be poking away. The Mothership being targeted down, beautifully done by PiG. And we can see now that the Spine Crawlers are going to go to work, but unfortunately, that is all that PiG has here at the moment. Some more links coming across, but when you've got so many sentries, a few of those Zealots are there as well, even an Oracle and a Void Ray up in the air, this just gets very hard to deal with, and I really like what San has done here. He's just come across, he started to really play this tempo style where he's going to come across and get some damage done and try and, you know, keep the pressure on. Doesn't want to let PiG have that safety time to get all of his drones back up and running where he would normally want them to be.
Yeah, really solid timing here from San, just capitalizing on that early lead. Now the Spore Crawler comes to the front. That's going to help against the Void Ray, but it's not going to do too much as the Zealots just walk up to it and whack it down. Now Pig is on his last defense. He doesn't have too many units here, just one Queen, and there's too much in the sky. Even if he cleans up all the Zealots, which looks very unlikely, he's going to have nothing to do with those units. This is the last stand for Pig. Roach is in the mineral line getting slapped down by Zealots. The force fields are amazing, and it looks like San is going to be able to take this game. One more Queen pops out, one inject, but that's not going to be enough units to deal with all of these units from San. So many sentries, so many stalkers, and that Void Rain Oracle doing so much damage as well. And GG, well played from Pig. San takes the first game in the IEM New York Qualifier.
Yeah, really nicely done by San to just, as we said, sort of put the pressure back on Pig after the hatchery block, and sort of said to him, well, alright, well, I'm not going to be just sitting down on my laurels waiting for you to drone up and get everything prepared. Sends a few of those Zealots across, sends an Oracle across as well, and tries to sort of stifle Pig's economy for quite a bit. So San did really well there in game number 1. So what we'll